it's me again, Random Doll Account, back to you again with another video. So this is part 2 of my 3-part series about underrated integrity toys dolls. So today we're going to be talking about underrated fashion royalty. So some fashion royalty dolls that you can get right now for some really, really great deals. As a quick disclaimer, I just wanted to remind the audience that this is intended to be for either new collectors or collectors that want a deal. So some of these dolls are going to have some weird stuff about them, and everybody kind of knows why they are a little bit lower on the price point. But I mean, we've all kind of been there. We've all been new collectors where we've been like, who's got the funds? Who's got the money for this? And then we buy our first doll at a good price, and then that gets us hooked. So this is more of an informational type of video in order to get people to start thinking about dolls that are maybe overlooked or underrated that you can get for kind of a steal. So first of all, let's go ahead and start with the ground rules. If my slideshow will work. There you go. Okay, the rules. Number 1, every doll has to be underneath $200. The reason why I chose $200 and not under list price is because there are some dolls that we all know, either because they're very popular or because they're a gift set or something or the other. They're just going to always naturally be slightest bit higher than their asking price, just because that's just the way it is. But for the most part, I'm actually looking at this list right now. I don't think that there is a single doll that goes over list price for fashion royalty. I'm just putting that in there just in case. Okay. I am looking for at least 5 sold listings on eBay. The reason why I need that is because it helps me to determine averages to say, generally speaking, if a doll is a good deal or not. Additionally, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, there's this really, really cheap doll that there's only like 50 of, and it came out for sale 5 years ago, because that's not really helpful to anybody, is it? Like, okay, great, that sounds awesome if it were 5 years ago, but it's not. So I want dolls that have a lot of history and a lot of track record, because then we can generally make a consensus. Rule number 3, complete dolls, no basics or parts. The reason why I'm not including basics in this is because of my own personal experience. I bought 3 dolls, all kind of together all at once. One of them was fit to print Nadja Rhymes. The other 2 were basics. And I will tell you that I got more out of having fit to print than I did the basics dolls regarding integrity toys, basically like determining their quality and everything. So whenever I'm thinking about a new collector or a collector that wants a good deal, I'm kind of keeping that in mind. Part 4. Okay, so this is a pre-recorded 3-part series. So I did all of my research for price listings on the 27th of June. There we go. Why did I lose my mind there? Okay, so I did my price listings on the 27th of June, 2025. So if you were one of my people that's like months out and is like, this isn't relevant anymore, that's why. I'm totally cool with doing this video again in a year or 2 from now. But for now, that's the date that I did my research. Okay, so I've got 5 dolls that I consider to be underrated, and then there's going to be an additional category at the end. We ready? All right, let's get started. Okay, so first doll I have up is Modern Renaissance Binna Park, specifically the pink variant. Now, here's the thing. Both variants I do think are underrated, and I do think you can get for a really good price. But the pink variant specifically, you can get for a much lower price than the blue variant. So if you like the blue variant, you can still get it for a really solid deal, like under retail. I'm just putting the pink variant here because it technically is the better deal. And the only difference between the 2 is that one is pink with red hair and the other one is blonde with a blue dress, right? That is like the difference. So the average eBay price is $132.40. Pretty good. And our last 5 sale prices are $130, $140, $135, $127.50, and $129.50. So you're pretty much consistently getting it in the $130 to $140 price range. And there's a lot to like about this doll, right? She is Schiaparelli, right? Her face is gorgeous. Of course she is. She's a variant on an Ayumi. I forget exactly which one. I'm just kind of going off the cuff here. she has a lot, she's a lot doll. I have the blue variant, and I actually got it at the curated event. That doll is a lot of doll. It just goes and goes and goes and goes, which is kind of the problem, I think, for longtime collectors. This doll is beautiful. um a little bit basic, very pretty, but a little tiny bit basic, I will admit. And whenever you are a more experienced Integrity Toys collector, space really, really matters. And this doll really, really takes up space. But if you're a new collector, kind of looking to get into fashion royalty, this is a great doll because you get a popular face mold at a good price, and you get a really impressive doll with a lot of intricate details that you can really play around and have fun with. So, two thumbs up on this one, regarding the deal, and also just like, whew, underrated, can I just say. I understand why, but man. All right, so let's go ahead and look at number 2, which is Glorious Vanity Isabella Alves. Okay, her average eBay price is $176.96. So it's about $10 under her original list price. And her last 5 sale prices were $200, $144.39, $200, $140.50, and $199.89. So if you get lucky, you can kind of get this doll for like a good deal, like $140. That's pretty good. And I I like this doll a lot. I don't have her. Actually, you want to know something weird about the Seven Sins event? So I was kind of broke at that time, so I needed to be really, really picky about what I was getting. I won nothing from the Seven Sins event. I literally do not have a single doll from that entire event. And in fact, you want to know something weird? I have the box for Glorious Vanity Isabella, but I do not have the actual doll herself because it's what that one right there came in. Um, I think that this doll is so pretty. I love the mirror effect. I love this, like, okay, she's vain, vanity, and she constantly has all these big, beautiful mirror details. I love her face. Her face is so beautiful and neutral. Um, However, I understand my collectors didn't go for her, which is that, I hate to say it again, but, big poofy, a little bit basic. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it's true. I think that she's so gorgeous. I think that if you were a new collector, you would find way, way, way more value in this than if you were a more experienced collector. But a more experienced collector, I think, could do a lot with these accessories, right? Like the mirror falling down from the chain and like that beautiful silver shoe. Doll itself, super neutral, super beautiful. I love the hair, right? There's a lot to love about this doll. And hey, she comes in $10 under her original price for the eBay average. But even if then, there's people that are paying like $30, $40 under, which I think is it's really solid for Integrity Toys, especially with a doll this beautiful. So let's go ahead and move on. This one, I think you guys will like. I put Up with a Twist Agnes on this list. And the reason why was because I was thinking, is there just an incredibly popular face mold? Like one that is just 10 out of 10 that I can put on here for a good price, that is a pretty doll that everyone should like. That will like just make anyone happy. And I feel like Up with a Twist Agnes is a good example of that. Her average eBay price is $163.59. So she's basically held the exact same, give or take a little bit, since she was released. Like I think that her original price was $165 and $163.59. It's a couple of dollars under. So she's pretty much stayed the exact same this entire time. And you can get her for as low as $142. So I mean, good deal all around. And look at her, right? It's Agnes. So, very popular character, very well loved character. But then you also get this cute little martini detail. I think her dress is super fun. I don't personally own this doll. I keep on saying this about this, but it's because with fashion royalty, I'm very, very picky. I'm one of those people with like fashion royalty where I'm like, I'll just invest like 1000%. Um, but with her, she has these beautiful little shoes. I like her purse. I like the little cocktail. I truly think that if you're one of those people that's like really interested in integrity toys and you're like, okay, this is my price point, this is my budget in mind, I'm not going to join the W Club until I know what the tea is. I think that like you kind of can't go wrong with an Agnes, right? Like she's kind of perfect. She's kind of a perfect face if you're into this kind of like very regal, very beautiful, very like ew, in case a bum tried to touch me. I think that she is a perfect embodiment of that. And if you like that kind of vibe, I would 1000% go after her. That is a worth it price point for that doll. Reason why she's pretty low in price, I'm pretty sure, is because she was a registration doll for the W Club, which means there is a lot of her. So whenever there's a lot of a doll, you can usually get them for a pretty good price, unless they are like the S tier, most extremely popular doll in the world. Then you'll never win. But for this one, I would consider that to be a win. All right, so I'm looking down. All right, next one. Okay, Holiday Spot Da Zar. So her average eBay price is $170, which is a little bit over what she originally went for at $165. I personally do not own this doll, but I have a lot of friends that do. You can get her for as low as $155 and as high as $200. What I like about this doll for somebody who's looking for an undervalued Integrity Toys doll list is this is the picture that I could find that was the closest to all of her accessories. She also comes with a scarf. So you kind of get a lot of options with this doll. She's very classic looking. She's very beautiful. She's also Danya, which is a pretty popular sculpt. And you get to kind of play around with a lot with this one, right? She's giving like Audrey Hepburn. She's giving like weekends trip with her hubby kind of vibes. I think that that's super fun. And like for 165, I mean 170, 155. Yeah, kind of can't beat that price, eh? So if you find her for a good price point, I would totally go for her. I think that she's totally underrated, and I understand why. She was a registration doll, so once again, high volume equals low price point, especially for dolls of that kind of caliber. So I would 1000% pick her up if I was, getting started. I think that she has a lot to offer somebody who's like just getting into Integrity Toys. And oh, interesting. Last but not least. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, Elise. Okay, Bijou Elise Jolie is my other, my last underrated doll. Her average price is $133.98. And you could get her as low as $96.75 and as high as $165. So no matter what, you are getting a deal on her. Let's just get that out of the way. Why people don't like her. Elise can be a very polarizing character sometimes, and a lot of people don't like her. And then secondly, like, okay, I will admit, like, this dress from like the wrong angle, especially with the pink and the poofiness and it's being scrunched, reminds me of, you know, a part of your body that could be me. And I think that that's why, though, that this doll, like, not only does she have kind of what you need to look for, which is, hey, is it a registration doll? Okay, the price will probably be lower, right? So she has that benefit to her, but I also think it has a combination of factors for this one. I think it's that. I think that it's Elise, which Elise is kind of a hit or miss for people. And then I also like, ooh, that dress. I can see that being. I can see it being polarizing. Once again, personally do not own her, but I do think that there is a lot to like about this doll. For me, I agree. Elise can look like the Crypt Keeper sometimes. I do not think that this Elise is one of those. I think that this Elise is super beautiful and she's super neutral. And yeah, sure, the bottom looks a little bit weird, but I'm like, you know what? Overall, whenever you look at the full doll, kind of whatever, she looks super chic. And I think that there's kind of, nothing but net whenever you have Elise in a very chic look. Is this a doll that I'd personally add into my collection? I actually considered it in my early days before I joined the W Club. I was thinking about grabbing this doll, and it just so happened that like every single time I thought about getting her, it just never happened for me. But I do legitimately think that her face is lovely, and that she gives like a lot of graciousness in her kind of demeanor and attitude with this doll. So good deal. All right, next up, we got the Chum Buckets. So these are dolls that I do not personally like, but if you like them, it's a good deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these Chum Bucket dolls. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of them. I'm going to explain why I don't like them. And then I'll explain what makes them a good deal, though, right? I like to keep things positive, so I will kind of have that element of it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. First one, Little Vintage Ensemble Veronique Perrin. I have Little Day Ensemble here. Let me just I have Little Day Ensemble. Okay. I just took her out. Okay. Do you see how she has this like really beautiful, frothy, like, cupcakiness, like this, like, pinky Barbie, very like whatever. This doll is considered to be a girl for a lot of people, and it's because she's super frothy and pretty and everything like that. So whenever they did a recolor of her, I was like, oh great, let's go for like a cupcakey blue or like a very, very genteel purple. And instead we got this, which, okay. Don't even get me started. This looks like girls, like a Y2K 12-year-old's bedroom that is like super on trend, and their mom was like, okay honey, like what color scheme do you want? And then she was like, I want a brown and teal room, mom, and I want to have a teal canopy. That's what this is giving me. I grew up during that era. Okay, I had friends that had bedrooms that had this exact same color scheme. This is a no, don't do that. Don't do that in the 2020s. Like, what are you doing? What I like about this doll, I love Veronique. I think that Veronique is so pretty. I will also say Veronique in a red lip is really pretty. Veronique with black hair is really pretty. It's just this outfit. Like, why? Why would you do brown and teal? Like, this isn't 2007. Like, what? Okay. And then, oh yeah, by the way, disclaimer. If you like any of these dolls, that's why I'm showing them to you. Like, just because I don't like a doll doesn't mean that you don't have to like it all. Okay? So, Little Vintage Ensemble you could get for a killer deal. That's just why I personally don't like her. Okay, Chain of Command Natalia Fatale. All right, I'm going to keep it positive. Let's talk about what I like. Natalia is a very beautiful face mold, and I think that her in this coloring and this hair color looks really beautiful. I also like the blue on Natalia in this coloring and this hair color. Now, let's go ahead and, let me get on the soapbox. Integrity Toys should have gotten more flack for this one. What I mean by that is, this doll came out in 2021 during the Obsession convention. And the obsession was police wear and police gear and like military gear. A year after Black Lives Matter and the George Floyd protest, I think that this doll coming out a little bit tasteless. I don't think that this doll should have come out. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think that this doll is pretty, don't get me wrong, but like, for it to specifically come out for Obsession, it's like, it gives the wrong impression. It gives like, oh yeah, we're obsessed with police brutality. And it shouldn't give that. So this is a no for me. This feels, I don't know, guys. This feels a little... I'm just saying. Yeah, so that's why she's in the Chum Bucket for me. We got two more. Okay, so Fall 2020, Elise Jolie. Okay, what I like about this doll, I love Elise in a darker skin tone. She looks super chic every single time. She eats it up. Mwah, beautiful. I also like the fact that Jason Wu added so many different accessories to this. So this doll has like an entire set of cosmetics, and that is rad. I think that that's super fun if you're like restyling or you like to take pictures of doll photography, all of those things. I also think that the strappy heel is just fine. What is up with this dress? This dress, I understand it comes after a real Jason Wu look, like a runway look. It did not translate well into miniature at all. It looked super duper duper shredded in my opinion, which is not it. Additionally, I've heard things about this hair, which is that it's like frizzy. Instead of the hair being like coiffed into itself, it's like cut so that it sticks out. So fair warning on that. If you are going after fall 2020 Elise because you like her outfit, you like all the accessories she comes with, everything like that, you might want to do something about that hair. And then last but not least, we're talking about Delightful Indulgence Da Zar. So for me, okay, here's my deal. I do not hate this doll. I actually think that without the puffy everything, she's pretty. Basic but pretty. Here's my thing. So this doll was designed after Gluttony from the Seven Deadly Sins, right? And they were each tasked with like doing a look based off of that. I'm like, this was a missed opportunity. Glutton for punishment. Like, could we not done anything with that saying? Oh, you're a glutton for punishment. And then like done a doll based off of that concept. Like, why did we immediately have to take it to like this overinflated tick balloon costume? As someone who is big herself, I don't know how I feel about this one, but he's like, whenever, I don't know if you guys are into this, but like there was a time period in which like people were taking like plus size clothing and then they were like going on TikTok and they were like, oh, look at this massive plus size piece of clothing that I thrifted. Like, look how big it was. And then they like went and they took the fabric and then they like made it for their thinner bodies. And there was a lot of controversy over that. I'm kind of getting that from this doll. And so once again, I try to stay in my unproblematic lane. So this doll was a little bit of a, I'm going back up now kind of vibe. Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about those. Once again, though, anything that I say, like, I am not the perfect purveyor of good taste. In fact, I have terrible taste. So like, don't listen to me if you think that something is good. Okay, like it's fine for you to think that it's good and for me to think that it's not good. It's totally okay. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit subscribe, or make sure to comment, like, share, do whatever, and kind of get some engagement going. I don't know. If you enjoyed this, like, please make sure to go ahead and check out some of my other videos. I've got some decent stuff coming. I post every Wednesday/Saturday, so I post twice a week. And I have a ton of content incoming. I have so many things down the barrel. Like, I literally have so much content. I'm like, so you won't see me just in this makeup look, I swear. Like, I've got a million other things coming out. Okay, so go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay.